Hello students, welcome back once again. Today we are going to discuss about some basic concepts in organic chemistry, that is from chapter number 12. Organic chemicals appear in materials like clothing, fuel, polymers, dyes and medicines. It is about the compounds present in living organisms. They all contain carbon. Organic chemistry, therefore, is the chemistry of carbon. In 1828, Wohler, a German chemist, synthesized an organic compound urea from an inorganic compound. That is, ammonium cyanate, an inorganic compound from which urea, an organic compound, is produced on heating.
Carbon is an essential element of all organic compounds. Carbon, which is tetravalent, has the ability to successively bond with other carbon atoms to form long chains or rings. The property of self-linkage of carbon atoms is known as catenation. Carbon also forms covalent bonds with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, and halogens. These carbon compounds are known as organic compounds. And the branch of chemistry that studies the formation and properties of organic compounds is known as organic chemistry. Organic compounds form the basis of life. For example, deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA is made up of sugar-like 2-deoxyribose and nitrogenous bases. In blood, muscles, and skin. Organic chemicals are also present in clothing, as in nylon fabric. In fuels, as a mixture of C7 to C9 hydrocarbons. In polymers, like polyethylene. In dyes, such as bromophenol blue. And in medicines, such as aspirin. In 1780, chemists discovered that organic compounds can be obtained directly or indirectly from plants and animals. While inorganic compounds are obtained from non-living resources such as minerals and rocks. In 1815, Berzelius, a Swedish chemist, suggested a theory which is known as the vital force theory. In his theory, he stated that organic compounds are produced only under the influence of some mysterious force existing in the living organisms. However, in 1828, Friedrich Wohler, a German chemist, rejected the vital force theory. Wohler synthesized an organic compound, urea, by heating an inorganic compound, ammonium cyanate. Later in 1845, Kolb synthesized acetic acid from purely inorganic compound. And in 1856, Berthelot synthesized methane from an inorganic compound. Thus, this led to the end of the vital force theory. A few years later, scientists found out that natural and synthetic organic compounds essentially contain carbon and hydrogen. And at times, they also contain other elements such as oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, halogens, and phosphorus. Organic compounds made of only hydrogen and carbon atoms are known as hydrocarbons. All other organic compounds are considered to be derived from hydrocarbons by replacing one or more hydrogen atoms with atoms of other elements. Thus, Organic chemistry is defined as the chemistry of hydrocarbons and their derivatives.
Children, as you know, carbon forms n number of compounds. This is mainly due to the tetravalency of carbon. That means carbon has valency of 4. Let's see the shapes of carbon compounds. Shapes of molecules like methane are explained in terms of the use of sp3 hybridization. As we have already discussed in the 4th chapter, methane forms sp3 hybridization where it forms a tetrahedral geometry, whereas in ethene where C double bond formation takes place, where sp2 hybridization of carbon takes place, and in case of ethine we have C triple bond C, that is sp hybridization takes place. Now let's see the structural representation of organic compounds. Organic compounds can be represented in complete, condensed and bond-line structural formulas. Complete structural formulas let us see first. If you look at these structures are ethane, then ethene, then ethine and methanol. You can see the complete structural formulas here. Then in bond-line structural representation of organic compounds, carbon and hydrogen atoms are not shown and the lines representing carbon-carbon bonds are drawn in a zigzag fashion as you can see in the figure. The terminals denote methyl, that is CH3 groups. The line joining the junctions denote carbon atoms bonded to appropriate number of hydrogens required to satisfy the valency of carbon atoms. If you look at 3-methyl octane, it can be represented in various forms. As this is one of the method in which you can represent 3-methyl octane, and this is in the open chain form we can represent, and in case of bond-line structures, in this we can see the terminals represent the methyl groups. So this is the bond-line representation of 3-methyl octane. Next we have 3D representation of an organic molecule. As you see in the figure, by using solid and dashed, that is wedge formula, the 3D image of molecule from a two-dimensional picture can be perceived. The solid wedge is used to indicate a bond projecting out of the plane of paper towards the observer. The dashed wedge is used to depict the bond projecting out of the plane of paper and away from the observer. So children, that darkened bold line shows the solid wedge that is actually projecting towards the observer, and the dashed wedge the bond away from the observer, and the other two symbol lines are actually the bonds in plane of the paper. I hope this is understood to you. Next we have the classification of organic compounds. Organic compounds are classified first on the basis of functional group, and another is on the basis of carbon chain, and we have also classification on the basis of homologous series. Carbon chain classification is organic compounds classified into open chain compounds and closed chain compounds. That is also called acyclic and cyclic compounds. In case of open chain, you know children, this is having a open structures. They do not have closed structures. In cyclic compounds, it can be homocyclic compounds also as well as heterocyclic compounds. And in case of homocyclic compounds, it can be acyclic also, aromatic also. And in case of aromatic also, we have benzene related compounds, that is called benzenoid compounds, and without benzene also it can be aromatic sometimes, that is actually called non-benzenoid compounds. First of all, let us see acyclic or open chain compounds. These compounds are also called aliphatic compounds and consist of straight or branched chain compounds. So children, what is aliphatic compounds? They have either straight or branched chains in their compounds. As you can see here, examples are ethane, isobutane, acetaldehyde, acetic acid. They are all open chain compounds. Now we shall discuss about alicyclic or closed chain, or they can be also called ring compounds. Alicyclic, or we can also call aliphatic cyclic compounds, contain carbon atoms joined in the form of a ring. If atoms other than carbon are present in the ring, then they are called heterocyclic compounds. Normal case children, we will find only carbon atoms in the ring, but there can be nitrogen, oxygen or any other non-metal can be also present. So then they are also called heterocyclic compounds. Some of the examples of alicyclic compounds are cyclopropane. Here bond line structures are only shown. Then cyclohexane. Then cyclohexene. One double bond is there, that's why it is hexene. Then the last structure is tetrahydrofuran. Next, let's see what are aromatic compounds. Aromatic compounds are special type of compounds. These include benzene and other related compounds, that is benzenoid compounds. Like alicyclic compounds, aromatic compounds may also have heteroatom in the ring. Such compounds are called heterocyclic aromatic compounds. Benzenoid compounds are, some examples are, benzene is a perfect example of benzenoid compound. Then aniline is another example where above benzene ring there will be an NH2 group, and if there are two fused rings of benzene, it can be called as naphthalene. Non-benzenoid example is tauropolone. And heterocyclic aromatic compounds, we have furan, thiophene, pyridine. In these compounds, actually, oxygen, sulfur, nitrogen are coming in between the ring. Now let's see what are functional groups. Functional group of a carbon atom is defined as an atom, bond or group of atoms in its molecule that responsible for the characteristic properties of the compound. Certain particular groups or atoms actually alter the characteristic features of the parent atom. That those substances we call, or those groups we call it as functional groups. Here we have some of the functional groups here: hydroxyl, aldehyde, ketone, carboxyl, amine, phosphate, sulfhydryl, etc. So where OH group, when it is attached, hydroxyl we simply call, but OH groups whenever attaches it can produce alcohols. Aldehydes are actually found in aldo type sugars. Then ketones found in keto sugars. Then carboxylic groups, that is C double bond or single bond OH, found in organic acids. Then NH2, that is called amines. Then phosphate groups as well as sulfhydryl are some of the functional groups examples. Next, let us see what is homologous series. A homologous series is a series of compounds that have the same functional group, and each member differs from the next member by a CH2 unit formula. So if you see CH4 to C2H6, there is a difference of CH2. Then C2H6 to C3H8, there is a difference of CH2. Then C3H8 to C4H10, there is a CH2 difference. So these are all having a general formula. That is the main thing. Especially in case of alkanes, we have CnH2n plus 2. In case of alkenes, it is CnH2n, and in case of alkynes, it is CnH2n minus 2. And in case of alkanols, that is alcoholic groups, we have CnH2n plus 1, then an OH, that is the functional groups comes in it. And in alkanals, aldehydes, we have a general formula, that is CnH2n plus 1 CHO group. And in case of alkanoic acid, that is carboxylic acid's case, we have CnH2n plus 1 and COH is present. So children, what are homologous series? Homologous series is a series of compounds that have same functional group and each member differ from the next member by a CH2 group's difference, or we can say there is an atomic mass of 14 AMU units difference is there. So children, these topics you understood very well, I hope. And nomenclature of organic compounds we will be discussing in the coming module. Thank you and have a nice day.